Poker is life when I'm stuck in my mind. Poker ain't life when I'm sharp in the line. Same card, same seat, different sight. One plays a moment, one plays it right. Poker is life when the night feels long. Poker ain't life when I know when I'm wrong. I play the game, I don't play myself. Sharp mind over chips on the fell.
I've left winners early. I've stayed losers too long.
Tony, who do we got this week entering the live poker arena, joining the Poker Ain't Live crew?
Coming in at 6'2", 200 pounds, a staple in the Las Vegas community, destroying the cash game streets from Leavenworth, Kansas City, TheRappingPokerBot.
RPB taking it out. Let's hear in the chat the crew who's all out here watching, rooting for the RPB.
Let's fucking go.
It's been long overdue. We should have interviewed you a long time ago. So I'm happy we finally got it going. But I think we picked a great time because you're fresh off some big accolades to the bot resume, right? What did you just do? Yeah, man. I guess we'll talk about the latest live score, which is Orleans, right? You want to talk to us about that? How was
Yes, sir. That was interesting. I mean, you guys know we play the home game, and I was runner up to McFloppity. Give it up for McFloppity. I don't even think I've congratulated him, and it's been like a month, but still, he was the winner. I was runner up. And the point is that I get to a lot of final tables online. You know what I mean? So it's like when I got to the spot to where I was like, okay, we're coming back to 71 people. Online, I've won a ton of tournaments of under 100 people, right? So I just know that as I'm making this transition to live and playing these bigger tournaments, that I have more time to find spots. And I just knew you know what I'm saying? I just know some people are going to shoot themselves in the foot. So it was just a very interesting spot to finally get to the final table and know, like, I know what to do when I get there. You know what I mean? So it was just a great experience.
So you ended up chopping, right? But I know we had like a big, the Poker and Live community is huge, and we virtually railed you. And that was pretty cool because we had a couple people who was there on the rail live.
I was there. Shout out to Big Red was there. Shout out to Spree hosted the live. We also had 5-6 students started on the virtual rail, went to the live rail. We also had Bet Something was on there. At one point, it was like 18 people on there. Like, it was a lot of people. I can't remember all the names right now, but
really
also
cool.
People was there also. Who else was there, Bobby?
Poker Boy was there.
Music was there too.
Correct. My boy Poker Hugs pulled up. If you ask me, I wouldn't think that many people support me or give a fuck whether I get a score or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was really cool to see the outpouring of people that were virtually real when I went back and looked, and then the people that actually had pulled up to the casino, you know what I mean, from whatever they were doing just to come support me. So that was pretty dope.
When you were at the final table, but you also had a very polarizing figure to your right, Maurice. So
yeah,
did Maurice getting any hands, or did you kind of like he got his chips his way, you got your chips your way?
He had so many chips the whole tournament that strategy wise, I have to stay away from him. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't have an option. You know what I mean? So strategy wise, that's the person that can hurt me. But also that's the person that when they're doing certain things, like I'm having to jam, I can't really go post flop with them too much, which, if they wake up, then you're going to be in trouble. But he pretty much just dominated. He dominated the tournament. I think when we went to the final table, he might have had 8 to 9 million, maybe 10 million of chips, and there's only 31 million chips in play. So he took a few beats that allowed me to level up. He actually busted that allowed us to be able to make a chop, but he had all the chips the whole time. But he's very, very polarizing. But in those type of situations, like, I try to learn from people off the felt. Like, I don't really, I make content. I might make funny jokes and funny videos about people and shit like that. But I don't know that man enough to judge him. And I know that everybody has skeletons in their closet. I know that everybody's going through something. So sometimes people look at people and they're like, man, this person's tripping, this person's lashing out, but they don't know what that person's going through. But I do know that he has the ring. He's a ring holder, leader, I think, right?
Yep, still the leader. I believe 24 rings right now.
Yeah, so like, and people say weird things like, oh, he buys in this many times, buys in this times. I know a ton of players I could buy in 10 times and they're still not going to win the fucking tournament. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to learn how he's playing while playing, and that's something that I think is a lost art. I think a lot of people don't do that when they're at the table. They're too busy trying to beat somebody, and a lot of times the pros just have it. You know what I mean? They have it, and you shouldn't really try to play a guessing game like, no, this dude's just picking on me, especially when the sample size is small. You play 20 hands with somebody, that's a small sample size. It's not like you're playing cash game. So if he happens to open on you 3 or 4 times, you got to understand that this guy has this many rings. He knows what he's doing. So that's what I got from playing with bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's I corrected myself, Tony. It's actually 21 rings. So Maurice,
okay, I was just saying,
you got the 24. We've spoken into existence for you. Definitely a friend of the podcast. But I would say also I was in learning mode. I think last year Maurice was probably one of the more impactful people. Like when he has a stack, he navigates it well. Was there anything that you learned from just watching him play when you were there?
Yeah, I learned a lot, but I don't really want to go into it because I'm going to start applying it, and that's really the best. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can put that. You know what I mean?
Tell me off the pot. I'm trying to win 40 bands also. Tell me off the pot. So secret.
So I do have a question about Maurice. So Maurice is definitely familiar with us, right?
Facts.
Do you think he was familiar with you? Like, you think when you sat? Have you had any other previous play with Maurice or?
So previous to that, my Hendon mob said, I think like 81K. Mm-hmm. Let's look at his Hendon mob right now. All right. What now? You said it's what now?
6.7 mil.
He doesn't give a fuck about me, bro. My shit says 1,000.
You're a clown.
I'm a fish to him. You feel me? Like here's the thing though, right? I just started playing these big time tournaments, big guarantees and stuff like about a couple years ago, right? And I know for a fact by how much when I play online, when I do win tournaments online, the buy-ins are from $10 to $200, and I can buy into a $200 tournament 50 times, 100 times online. You see what I'm saying? I know when I go play these 600s, when I go play these thousands, you know, in these 1100s, that's what these guys are doing, and they also have the formula. So I know I have the formula, but the goal is to build up your bankroll to be able to compete with guys like that. But that's a lucky situation. He got in an unlucky spot, lost a bunch of chips. You know what I'm saying? But he was on track to do what he normally does in tournaments, run over it, and he was running over it. You know?
So that was going to be my next question. How did he go out? But you didn't answer the question.
You said what now?
Coach.
Isn't that your coach, Tony?
It is.
I believe I might have knocked him out. Yeah, so he was a good player. He actually ripped sevens against some of these aces and cracked them.
We see you all over TikTok. We see you all over Instagram. We see the Rapping Poker Bot on Club GG, Coin Poker, every freaking website. What is the story behind the name, The Rapping Poker Bot?
I've been making music for a long time, you know, and I've been playing poker for a long time also. So it kind of all just came together like that, you know. It started on TikTok. I amassed a bunch of followers and just a bunch of views and things that got me a lot of exposure that allowed me to be able to travel and, you know, just pursue this full time for a few years. So,
tell us the TikTok story. What's the TikTok story?
Yeah, I know there's some giveaways and money involved. How you go viral on TikTok? What was the moment that made you go viral on TikTok?
You know, I posted a video just grinding and it just blew up. It just blew up. I don't know.
You had a couple different viral moments.
The thing about it is though, like I've been making content, you know, as an artist and shit. I've been making different types of content for a long time. So some people might think like, you know, the Rapping Poker Bot just hit. That's what hit on the internet. It just hit. You know what I mean? But I've been making content. I've been making funny videos. I've been doing that type of stuff. So it's just, I don't know. I'm glad it worked.
So you're primarily on Instagram now. Do you do TikTok stuff still or no?
Yeah, I'm really just on Instagram now. TikTok is kind of tricky about gambling, but I do videos for Ignition, contracted out. So you can find some of my videos over there that are still on TikTok. I mean, I have a page or whatnot. It's one of those situations where I just know that they kind of shadow ban. They kind of got me shadow banned.
There's a lot of kids on there, so they're trying to be,
Diving into the content part, like you are the originator of a lot of different content, but the steak meal cost me $1,500 and you stand still and they zooming in and they zooming out of you. You are the originator of just like, so many different things, even dancing, like, hey, I did XYZ and now I get to play poker. And it's just you there dancing, enjoying life. Like, what is your creativity or what's like your creative motive behind some of your content? Like, where do these ideas come from?
I think just trying to be relatable. But there's some really good content creators out there. And what really made me want to make poker content was Sethi Poker.
Shout out to Sethi.
I remember I was copying his videos and I hit him up and I was like, yeah, bro, like, I hope you don't mind. Like, you know what I mean? I'm biting the fuck out you. You know what I mean? And he's like, here, bro, let me tell you how to do it better. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He's a real one, And I think a lot of people get content confused with like being an influencer and not understanding that these are just trends. You know what I mean? Everybody is just trying to make this relatable to who they have following them. I know my demographic is different than other people's demographic. Like I just know it is because I know what my inbox is just completely different than other people's. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that are reaching out to me tell me they feel comfortable asking me about poker. They feel comfortable learning from me because, this is a whole different culture. You know what I'm saying? And like, I love that people ask me like, oh, what's poker, man? And I'm like, everybody goes to the casino, but people, I'll be right up. Black people, we walk right past the poker room. They go to craps, they go to blackjack, they go to 21, but you show them you're playing poker. They're like, they're interested in it, but it's just hard for them to get in the game and learn, even though all the information's out there for everybody. I think that I'm the bridge of taking that information that's coming from these high-end places and bringing it to my community and making sure that they're getting the same information.
That's fine. When you think of it, actually like bridging the gap between your community and bridging the gap between your game. So how'd you even get introduced to poker, Bot?
I was serving tables, 18 years old, serving tables, and I was living with my best friend. And, when you live with somebody, you just expect them to come, we both were working at the same restaurant, expect them to come home, whatever. They didn't come home. I went to sleep, whatever, Next night, we go to work. I don't even say, I'm going to ask them. Probably went to a girl's house or something. He doesn't come home. So I'm like, bro, where'd you go last night? He's like, I was playing poker. I'm like, playing poker? What's poker? So he sits me down. He sets the deck, and he gives me a straight. He has a straight flush, and he teaches me a valuable lesson right there. You know what I'm saying? And he gives it to me immediately. And he just, you know what I mean? And from then on, I used to just sweat him playing online poker for forever. So I'd just be sitting behind him because I'm at the house with him and just watch him play poker. So, you know what I mean? I was playing.
What was he playing on?
This back then with Poker Stars for sure, Full Tilt, things like that. This is 2005, 2006. We're driving up to the Borgata playing. Borgata used to have a 11 o'clock $60 tournament. I'm skipping college, driving up there. You know what I'm saying? Busting out before it even started for real.
So I remember, you said that's like that was where you started, right? Borgata. So where were you living? You were living in Kansas City, driving to Atlantic City?
At the time I was going to college in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you seen the clip about Duncan, Tony?
Oh yeah, that's right. Insert Duncan clip. What school was that? University of?
That was College of Southern Maryland. It was in La Plata, Maryland.
Okay. So you're playing basketball, but watching this guy, and
because online poker was big back then,
Yeah.
Like you had to go get like a gift card sometimes to load up. You had to fucking go Western Union and shit to the Philippines.
Absolutely.
Like I can't use Western Union now because I was sending money to the Philippines. Like you know,
Sending bread to Juan Esteban for $100
Yeah.
with this shit.
So that's what I was gonna ask, because I'm pretty sure, like, well, one, obviously you're not supposed to be gambling at that age, but two, if you're playing college ball, right, that's probably really risky, right? Somebody even says bots gambling, your ass is on the team. So
yeah, it was junior college, and
Okay.
you know, at the time, you know, I wasn't thinking necessarily in that facet. You know what I'm saying? There's not so like I think there's MySpace. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because I went to Hutchinson Community College to play basketball, which is like they have the junior college championship there, and then I have to leave in that school to go play in Maryland, where I'm at a school that's a junior college that I'm telling teachers, hey, I got a game, and they're like, for what? They don't even know. They don't even know we have a team. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just a whole different culture and stuff. And yeah, we weren't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my buddy, and Maryland and Virginia, where I grew up at, where I was going to school at. When I came back to go there my second year of college, it was like 45 minutes from home. So my boys are living in Virginia. They're like, we're going to Atlantic City. Well, fuck it, we're going to Atlantic City. And, you know, everybody watches Rounders at that time. It's like, you really believe in that shit. You know what I mean? A $60 $10K every Wednesday. Well, we got to go, you know,
So,
get there, play roulette and lose the money before you can even buy in the tournament. You know, just a lot of lessons, bro.
We've been there. The little casino.
So did you play? So sorry, did you play live or did you play online first?
Well, I played live first, obviously. I'm going to I'm starting going with my boy after work. We're playing little house games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm really grasping it. You feel me? But in Virginia, there wasn't, you drove to Atlantic City to go play poker. Cause you know, like I said, Rounders, bro, you drove to Atlantic City. You didn't go to West Virginia. It wasn't the same vibe. Yeah. You drove to Atlantic City with your boys with big dreams. You guys are going to win the tournament. The very first tournament I ever bought into, I used a fake ID because I was too young and I cashed it. And it was a big tournament. It was like I said, it was you know what I mean? Played all day. And I swear to God, I can't tell you one hand I played, but I know that all I played was pairs and basically the nuts. Yeah, there was no, yeah. The reason, bro, listen, the first time I went and played poker, like I said, my boys took me up there. I have a fake ID. It's actually my birthday. I go all in with a pair of pocket nines. Turn a set on somebody. At the time, I don't know how crazy turning a set is of nines is. You know, guy has me cooked. He has kings. I'm addicted. Everybody else had lost. I literally win that hand. I'm like, it's my birthday. They're like, shut the fuck up, bro. You got to fake ID. It's not your birthday. Get up here. You know what I mean? And I cashed out and I made like $400 or $500. And then I went home and I was like, man, we're going to do this forever. But it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? So I've always loved playing poker. I've always loved just play. Like, if they had poker and you couldn't make money going in and they're like, you have to pay $50 to go in here and play. I'd pay $50 to go play poker for 3 hours with people. Can't leave with any money. Can't leave with anything. You're just leaving with the fact that like going to play basketball. Like I gave this nigga buckets. I would pay money to go play poker. When
was the first time that you knew that you wanted to do this full time?
I've done a lot of things. And, I remember I ended up leaving Vegas to go coach some basketball in Indiana and to be with family. And it was a great experience. And I remember just one day it just hit me and it was like, you can do this. And I made a video. I have a video on my page that's, you know what I mean? It's like a declaration like, hey, I'm going to try this. No matter how long it takes, like, we're going to give this our all. Because I'm already when you play online poker, you don't realize it, but you're putting in time. You're putting in hours. And at the time, I'm grinding Bovada. I'm grinding for my rent. I'm grinding Bovada, $100 and $50 double ups all day, playing 20, 30 of them a day, like so I can't play them anymore. And it was like a glitch. It was like a money glitch.
So what year was this when you said you were ready to?
This is 2022, in 2021, 2022.
Okay, so 4 years ago.
And I've always liked to, travel out here, play little tournaments here and there, but I've never actually been like, all right, we're gonna start bankroll. That's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean?
So another question. well, two more questions. One, and I'll just say I'm right or right. It's just an over/under question. Justin Arnwine, they just did an interview on him at Poker.org. He said in the last 5 years he's played 8,900 online tournaments. What's your number, over or under, last 5 years? And then Damien too. And then what do you think your number
way
is?
under.
Actually,
I'm probably at like 2,000 to 3,000 in the last like.
that's
4.
what I think. Like,
Imagine,
for you to
okay,
know
let's
the
do-
exact number.
Let's do the math.
is just-
Let's do the math. Let's do the math, right? So say I play 5 tournaments a day for 300 days out of the year.
1,500.
Now times that by how many years?
Yeah, that's still like 6K.
That's insane. Yeah. So,
But
still,
and
it's still
that's
pretty
giving
something.
myself 65 days off.
Actually,
So
in 6
that's
years,
being
yeah,
real-
it's not. It's 9,000.
I'm giving myself because we fire, bro. And like I said, we fire. We play a lot of tournaments, and I play a lot of tournaments. There's times where I'm playing every tournament on Poker Bros schedule 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. He's a crusher. He's absolutely insane.
So my next question is back to family, and how did your family react to you wanting to be a poker player? Shout out to Pops, he's an alpha, part of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha,
slips.
and I just found out that his mom is an AKA. So I'm wondering, his bot's over here a whole damn
Bought a
first
whole
family.
legacy.
He's a first family legacy for sure. But I'm wondering how they took you being a poker player when you started, and how do they feel about you?
Well,
being
you
a
gotta
poker player now?
understand, bro. I've been making music for a long time, so that's the two hardest businesses in the world. Is one of them's the music business, and they've supported me. They've supported me through that, so I don't think they think they're just like, if you're happy, we're happy.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this, Bot, because you being in the music industry, one of the biggest accomplishments is to win a Grammy. And on the poker side, one of the biggest accomplishments is to, I'm not going to say main event because that's like a $10 million thing, but what do you think would matter more to you, winning a bracelet, or do you think winning a Grammy would matter more to you, and why?
I don't think I chase either one. So for Grammy, it's like, that's artistry, and there's a lot of things that go involved in that. So to catch a song, to catch a wave, to catch a vibe, to catch a Grammy, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty amazing. And the WSOP, right? And to win a bracelet, like, you do see people back to back. You do see people, multiple bracelets and things of that sort. But there's so many landmines in that event. You're just blessed if you can get to the situation to have a chance. And that's all we're ever trying to do, is just get to a spot to where you have a chance to get one. The best player doesn't always get there. They get cooler too. But a main event, that's like there's landmines there. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate parlay to get that bracelet. I know how much work it takes to get a bracelet, and nobody can stop you from getting a bracelet besides you. Other people have their hands on Grammys and nominations, but if you studied, you put in the work, you can go get your bracelet. So I think I want a bracelet because I know the work that it takes to get that motherfucker.
There we go.
Wait.
Speaking of bracelet in your 2026, Bot.
So you think it's harder? You think it's harder to get a bracelet than it is to get a Grammy?
No, music business is the hardest business in the world. So I'm not taking anything away from that. I just think, like, when you get to a certain level, there's other things that, like, you don't get to the final table and somebody's like, hey, I think you should have all the chips over here. Like, no, if you earned your chips and you got your chips, you get to go play for them.
Yeah.
A Grammy, you might have the best song, the hottest shit, but if the person up here doesn't like you from some big wig or something else, you know what I mean? There's other things to go on. But you're in control of your poker career. You're in control of your bankroll management. You're in control of how you play. You're in control of everything until the cards go in the middle. And if the chips go in the middle and they come back, that it's meant to be.
Damn, spoken like a true OG, Bot. Now, right now, we see you're grinding, you're on Coin Poker right now. We see the hoodie right now, the FOLD hoodie. Tell us a little bit about the FOLD brand. How like FOLD coming to fruition? What does FOLD mean to you?
Man, we've been rocking FOLD 3 years now. Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, and it's a sub brand of Binkingham. So Binkingham is just where we're always trying to go. We're always trying to get to Binkingham. You know what I mean? We're always trying to hit that score. It just lets us, go relax and live our life accordingly. But fold is just something like I see this like I see Nike at the table and stuff like that. It should just be a staple in the poker community. But that's kind of what I get from it. You know what I mean? I just feel like every time I go anywhere, somebody comments on it like, "Oh man, it's dope, fold." It's simple. You know what I mean? But this is what I believe in. I believe that they don't teach folding enough. I believe they're teaching people to do so much stuff when all you got to do is just fold. Just lay that bitch down. You don't got to go battle and do all this. If people learn how to fold more, they won't torch so much, So, it's not a reminder to me at all. I play the game I play, but I just think the brand fold, I just think folding is one of the, it's a staple. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've seen the brand no fold, and I've seen, all in. I've seen a bunch of stuff, but fold is just, this is the Nike of poker. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of just do it, for all you dickheads out there, just fold. If you see bot re-raise you, just fold.
No. You can call. That's what I'm saying. You can call. You can call. This just the Nike of poker, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You can call. Everybody puts on Nike. They ain't Michael Jordan. They just wearing Nike. So they can call. Go ahead and call. Big fish. But I do feel like I get a lot of action with this, man, and it's a beautiful thing because people always ask me where to get it, and I'm just like gearofgamble.com. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking for gambling gear, this is where I'm gonna put it. Gearofgamble.com. It's kind of fire. I don't know. I like it. I got a good response from it.
I love the partnership we've created here. Big things to come, man. We're
facts.
about to get to work in 2026.
Big facts.
You slayed us on that answer for the TikTok thing. Let's jump back to that. So one of the big things was on TikTok. Back then you promised everybody something.
So I was on TikTok and I was playing a 100K at the win, and I just told everybody before it. This was TikTok was kind of loose. I told everybody I was like, hey, I'm gonna donate 10% of my earnings to whoever drops their cash app. And I think like 190 people dropped their cash app or whatever. And I just remember playing and just running. And then I got to the final three. I'm not sure who the other guy was. It was me, David Baker, and another guy who's a really good player. And that was my first 20K score. So I went home, and the first thing I did is, cut the 10% out. And I had my boy, I was like, read off the cash apps. And he's reading off the cash apps, and I'm sending them. So I sent like $10 to like 190 people type shit.
That's dope.
That is dope. I'll always remember that story. We need to do something like that again. I was actually thinking about it because we went to, what was the last stop? We went to, WPT Prime. I was thinking that maybe we should do something for that, but yeah, it didn't end up working out great at WPT Prime. Well, not for me at least. It worked out good for some other people. Do you want to talk about your WPT Prime experience? Oh, hell yeah. You went crazy in that mystery bounty, right?
That was actually an Aria event. That was an $1,100 one day 500K. I play a lot of mystery bounties online, so it was interesting to like get in a spot in that one. And it's funny because it was $63,000 at top of that one, and I missed a few spots that I just shouldn't have. Just mistakes were made. You know what I mean? It's just how it is in poker. You know what I mean? You either butcher hands, you miss hands, you don't play hands, you hesitate. Something happens that, you're like, oh, I definitely could have been in that hand, should have been in that hand with the implications. But it was ironic because all the big bounties were pulled super fast. So you're playing a mystery bounty where you want to ramble, but they've already pulled two 25Ks. They've already pulled two 10Ks, a 15K. So now you're playing for money up top where people are still playing bounty poker and they're chasing 2K bounties and $500 bounties. And you're missing spots because you're like, oh, they're showing up light because they don't understand that when these bounties get pulled, now the average bounty goes down and whatnot, So it was an interesting spot. I ended up getting 18 from that.
Yeah.
I pulled a $2,000 bounty.
Yeah. So it was pretty funny because Bot put up a story. He actually called me. He's like, yo, where are you? I'm like, in bed. I'm like, bro, I'm depressed right now. I don't want to fucking play nothing, right? And then it probably would have depressed me more if y'all told me about the I don't know, it kind of amped me up. But anyways, I got my ass out of bed, ran over there, and surprisingly, Avery was there and 5-6 Suited was there. So
I actually had called you because you had 3%, and I wanted you to pull the bounties. So like, if you don't want to go pull a 25K bounty off your 3%, then fuck it, bro. Lay in bed.
I
you know?
should have. I
Good
should
night.
have. You're right.
You could have pulled
right?
that shit, Tony
I
Paul.
was the good. I should have, right? Because peep this, right? Funny story is right before I left there, because I was mad as fuck. I fucking was sitting outside, and I meet this guy, and this guy comes out, and I'm like telling him about the brand, right? And I give him a coin. I was like, "Here, tap my wrist." He taps things, looking at the Gear Gamble stuff, and I'm telling him about it and stuff. And he right in front of me, snap buys a hoodie, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, "Oh shit,
yep,
good
I
shit."
remember him.
Yeah, cool. I added him to the barbecue and stuff, and fucking come to find out, this guy snap buys the hoodie in front of me, right? I'm like, bet, man. Thanks for supporting. He goes inside and he pulls the $25,000 bounty.
Damn.
Then he pulls the $15,000 bounty. Man walked away with second place money. Like, karma's a motherfucker. So if y'all don't think that Gear Gamble is lucky, guys, at this point, I don't know what to tell you guys. But yeah. But anyways, you ran great in that tournament, bro. I just think that, like you were saying, you said you missed a spot. Mystery bounty tournaments are hard because obviously, you know, like you were saying, but
I know all the spots online, and that's what's crazy is like, you know, right? You play 10-minute levels online, so when you're looking for spots, like you're really going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But in person, you know, you just have so many more opportunities because they're 40-minute levels that sometimes you need to go ahead and take that spot in the first 2 minutes of that level. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the spot. You know, that's the spot. You know, but I'm in a hand.
I come for another 30 minutes.
I'm in a hand. Yeah, I'm in a hand, and I hear 10K bounty pulled. Oh my God, 5K bounty pulled as I'm taking, and I'm just like, this guy just pulled 15K bounties. I fold, and then we sort of flopped the fucking nuts. You know what I mean? With a hand that I might have rammed with just if I was chasing 25K bounties.
So, but 40-minute levels, like as an online player, that just sounds like forever to me. So I know when you playing online, I see the setup. You got the music video going, you vibing, you playing with the dogs when you at home. When you playing live at the tables, what are you doing to just lock in and stay focused? Like, what are you doing on your phone? What are you doing to stay locked in?
I'm just playing, bro. So at 40-minute levels, I always get there early because I want to be able to just play my game. You know what I'm saying? I'm opening 3-4 times around, you know, and if it's your day and you're picking up cards, because you got to think, bro, like if you're not active, you're not going to get the chips. And you want to get the chips early. And when you get the chips early, now you can really get active and you can start going crazy. So I'm not really on my phone too much. I'm not really on my phone too much because I'm playing poker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting for a good hand just because I just started. Like I'm just playing. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, King 7 open. Oh, let's do it. You know, like I'm just playing cards. You know, so at 40-minute levels, when you get the chips, that's when you have to calm down. Not necessarily calm down, but understand that. Yeah, switch gears. Understand that for the next 2 hours, these people that are coming in, they're trying to get all the chips because they're coming in late and they're trying to push. You know what I mean? And do things. So. It's I just started to adjust that. I know now that like I have so much time to find a spot that when I find it, it's gonna be nice, you know. And people are making so many mistakes these days. It's just worth it not even to try to play GTO or do too much. It's better just to wait for your hand and let these people who are trying to do too much and then just you know, you just have them in a bad spot. You know, like people's tendencies are so, it used to be like 1 or 2 guys at the table had a tendency of being aggressive. Now you get to the table where there's this guy won't let this guy be aggressive and this guy's tired of this guy being aggressive and this guy is like, nah, I'm normally the one. You know, everybody wants to be table captain.
Everybody's swinging their dick.
And all you got to do to be table captain is get the chips.
Damn, that's a bar.
And I feel like that's kind of what you did at Orleans, right? Final table, you just kind of, you know, let the big stack with Maurice, you know what I mean? Swing his dick around and then let the other people get mad because it's Maurice. and freaking dump their chips away.
Yeah, there's just certain
thousands of
rules.
dollars.
There's just certain rules, and at the final table, like depending on your stack, there's certain people who you attack and there's certain people you stay away from. And when you're attacking somebody, it's relentless. So you're gonna, like I told you, your coach, he had less chips than me, so I'm just gonna jam on him every. You know what I mean? I don't. He's gonna have to pick a spot. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only person I can do that to at the table. So I have to do it. That's where I'm gonna get my chips because he's gonna fold a lot to me. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, just capitalizing on people's mistakes is what I've been trying to focus on, and just realizing I got a lot of time and people make a lot of mistakes in 40 minutes every level.
So Damian mentioned something to me that you're never playing at the Orleans again. What happens?
I'm not gonna badmouth a casino, but there's a ton of places to play at, and I just think that one of the most important things in a poker game is the floor being able to control the game. If the floor can't control the game, then we're in the Wild Wild West, and I don't want to play in the Wild Wild West. So by the floor controlling the game, that makes sure that everything is done the proper way, protocol, from buy-ins to how they put people in, to how they do table breaks, to how they, you know what I mean? All that is it's important. We played a tournament there, and they didn't do a redraw. It's a 777 person tournament, and at 27 people, they don't do a seat redraw. At 18, they don't do a seat redraw. When we had the bag for the day, they came around with a new set of chips, and they're switching out chips. Now, I understand why they do this, so somebody can't take what's a few $100K chips to you if you got a bunch to take to your buddy tomorrow so you can slide them on. So I understand why they do that. But at the same time, it's like there's a way that this should be done. You know what I mean? The next worst thing is when they write it down on a piece of paper. Is it one extra 0 here? You see what I'm saying? If they don't have somebody watching that person do their job in a protocol way to do it, where they're just exchanging chips on the table and they're asking the person, "What? How many did you have?" You see what I'm saying? And that person's being honest, but you just don't know. And now you just did that for 77 people that came back. I'm not sure how these bags were put together. I walked by the poker desk, and I see the chips for the tournament just sitting on a table over here. The problem with that is any dealer can get access to them, any player can get access to them, and the cameras are watching a lot of different things. So I've never had any issue there personally myself, but I just from what I've seen, I just know I can't, I'm not sure if they add
logistically certain things need to be tightened up because
I'm not sure if at the end of the tournament if they add all the chips up, if they're going to equal the amount of chips that were there. And I don't like playing in that type of situation.
And I'm not afraid to say it. When I played at the Orleans, there was a lot of such shit. Maybe not the casino's fault, but I'll tell the story that I go to. You were there. I was on break, and I come back from break, and there's this old lady sitting down. Like, it's already real sus that somebody's sitting down 3 minutes left of break, right? She's sitting down right next to the dealer, chopping it up. The ladies, they're both like in their 60s, both women dealers. And the lady is like, as soon as I sit down, the lady's like, "Oh, I was in the big blind last hand, right?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, why are you asking me? Like, it should be where the button is right now. The last dealer should have said it right. And so she's basically trying to skip her button. Eventually, they asked the person that was to her right, which is obviously going to vouch for her because now she doesn't have to pay any blinds. And now it's just like they let it slide. Then there's the same lady is trying to get her whole stack back after going all in 3 ways and losing. And then she tries to make it seem like she's supposed to count the chips to verify. It was just ass backwards. A lot of some of this shit going on.
And the thing is a lot of those dealers, they mean well, but if you haven't been, if you've been dealing for 20 years and they don't make you go to some type of like new training and make sure you're still doing everything, you're obviously going to cut corners and do things the way you do,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're
going to be exploited. You're going to be exploited by the players that know all those old rules. They're looking for the little fucking things that they can, do to.
And another thing, like, I was playing there, and a guy said something to me. I made a comment back to him, and you quarrel with somebody at the table, maybe a back and forth. Nothing crazy was said. He was actually mad I doubled up a player, and I told him, like, hey, let me play my hand. You know what I mean? Like, you do you, I'm gonna do me. And by the time the lady comes over, he's telling her that the way I'm looking at him is imposing. And in my head, I'm like, I'm playing poker. Like, this is the way I look. Like, I could be happy in this how I look. It's just how I look, bro. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I just, and she said, well, if you were looking at me like that too, I would feel a certain way. And I'm in my head, I'm like, guys, we're playing poker. Like, it's a visual game. Like, I'm looking at him to get a tell. I'm looking at him. If I'm looking at him to intimidate him, if that's what you think, like, I'm sorry if he's intimidated by it. But I look at a lot of people who aren't intimidated by it. There's nothing to be intimidated by. I'm playing a visual game. I'm trying to see what's going on.
And it's not against the rules.
So
it's not against the rules.
And once again, bro, that's another thing where it's like, where am I at right now that they're telling me not to look at this guy?
Exactly. It's like, how much shit can you put up with versus the value of the tournament? Like, it's just so juicy, right?
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, I'm up 20 bands on this place. I don't need to give him any dollars. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like, how often do you play at the Orleans? Do you play there often?
I mean, I used to. I don't play there too much anymore. See, that this year I started playing bigger tournaments. So I don't. Their tournaments like $100, $150. Great tournament. If that's the buy-in range you're looking for. But once again, like, I'd rather go lose 500 at the win. Like, fuck it. Give me some watermelon juice.
So you're not going back, or you're going back to New Orleans?
I'm not going back.
We're not going.
I'm not going back.
We talked about music, but vaguely. I kind of want to know: are you got any new songs coming out?
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff, but right now we're just building.
Okay.
We're building this poker. We're building this poker right now. I'm a firm believer that when you're doing something, you got to put your effort in it. So if I'm over here making songs, at that time I can be studying poker, watching free content on YouTube. You know what I mean? Putting in hours, putting in work, because I know that that's what's separating the best right now. And I, I intend to be one of the best poker players in the world. There's no rush to it. I know the right people. I know where to get the information from, and I know that it takes a few scores to be able to get yourself in that spot to be able to do what you need to do. So, that those are my goals. You know what I mean? So right now, music, I just don't have time for music right now. You know what I mean? I put a lot of time into music. It's a hard business, but I have time for poker.
Lock into that poker shit, but what do you expect now? Hold on, Todd. I gotta ask. Bot got me hyped up because he's locking in right now. So hold on.
It's probably the same question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to ask Bot, what could we expect next from you? Are we gonna see you in like different tournaments? Are you gonna travel more? Like, we got a roll, and I know you're gonna keep building it. What's gonna change in the future for you?
Nothing's. That's the beautiful thing about this. Like, nothing's changing. You know what I mean? Like, right now, I'm playing a $50 tournament online. Like, nothing's changing. I'm about to go down to Mississippi, you know what I mean, and chase a big score. And that's what I've been doing the last year and a half. So it's like trying to chase a big score. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the formula, but you got to have the volume. I know these guys are putting in volume. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't expect to go play 7 tournaments and to win a big one. But if I play 70 over the course of a year, I have a good chance of winning a big one.
So what do you hope to have accomplished this year?
I want my hand on, I would say $1 million on it.
$1 million win?
$1 million on it, however I get there.
Tony, I think that's a good segue to the $1 million question.
Oh, well, we already know what the answer is for him, but go ahead. You can hit him with it.
So, but this entire podcast is framed around, is poker life or poker ain't life? I'm heavy on the poker ain't life. It's a game. Tony's heavy on the poker is life. So what is poker for you, But is poker life or poker ain't life?
Bro, when I step outside and I go to the grocery store Not one person in there is walking thinking about poker. You feel me? But I got an impact on my community. So to me, like, poker ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love the game. Give it everything. But when you go outside, life's way bigger than poker. You know what I'm saying? And I've been popping way like rapping PokerBot. Like that's not popping in me. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm fucking Brad Owen in my neighborhood, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. I'm popping in real life. You feel what I'm saying? So like, poker ain't life, you know. But ball is life. Poker is life. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to put the time into it and to grind it and to be able to show people, you know, like this shit's gonna hurt sometimes and gonna feel good sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand that you're playing a game at the end of the day, and don't let that game play you.
Damn.
Well, Jamie can't fucking speak right now, so I hear quotes like this.
I killed it. I killed it.
But I knew Ba would kill it. You know what I mean? Ba is a highly valued asset to the community. Appreciate him coming on, taking the time. Glad we got to, interview him and have y'all see the real Ba. You know what I mean? I expect big things from Ba and Damien in 2026. As far
and
as
you too, Tone, the whole crew in it.
Shop FOLD at GarrettGamble.com, man. Wow.
Let's get it.